And we're back. It's all back to normal, right, folks? Oh, what is happening, guys? Welcome to Film Junkee Live, the first one of 2025. Film Junkee Live in 2025. That's right. I'm not going to say that much. Don't worry. I won't. But welcome, guys. New year, new me. That's what people say, right? Still the old me, 100%. Make sure you guys hit that like, thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And let's have some fun this year, huh? We got plenty to talk about today. Actually, not that much. A lot of awards season stuff, and of course, DC stuff we'll be talking about. So hopefully you guys are doing good. Hopefully you guys had a great New Year, great weekend, all that stuff. Tell you what, the holiday schedule really effed me up. That's why I'm glad we're kind of back to normal, right? I think we're kind of back to normal. Anyways, let's see who's out there. What's going on? Indiana Jake. Oh, wow. Brolin as Gordon would be sick. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. What's going on, Ryan? Good to see you. Philatia Plays. Hi, Dave and Chad. I hope everyone is well. What role do you think Brolin could, the DCU, could give him? Personally, I think either Deathstroke or Darkseid. Yeah, there's some other options right there. What's going on, Axel? What up, Dave and Chat? We saw Paddington in Peru last night in the theater, and it was very, very good. I still haven't seen the second Paddington. I know I got to because the first one was good, and it seems like these movies are really great. So I gotta rewatch number one because I haven't watched it in a bit, and I should watch number two, and then looking forward to the third one, of course. So I'm glad you enjoyed it there, man. Let's turn that off. What's going on, Kenneth? Happy New Year. Now the year, I know, right? It is the year of Superman. Crazy. Crazy to think. We just got to wait, what, 7 months? Jeez. What's going on, Phil? Good to see you, brother. He clearly wants to be in DC. I mean, yeah, he's definitely showing interest, even though he, didn't quite work out because they did want him for, they didn't want him for Hal, or they did want him for Hal, but he was like, yeah, maybe not that. Hey, yo, looks like we got a donation, which much appreciated. I'll get to it in a little bit there. Mr. Hardboiled. Hey, speaking of that, I'm bringing back, I'm trying to this year to, I got the Patreon, which, if you guys want to support the channel, I do have the Patreon, and one thing I was doing that I was starting to do last year, and then I kind of stopped doing it for some reason, but I did want to bring up the fact that it's like, hey, anybody who's helping out, especially with the higher tier, I'm like, you know what, for the week of doing streams and everything, you're an executive producer, so I'm bringing that back, and Eric, you are the executive producer of the Film Junkee Lives, the DC Fanimated, and then, of course, Vodka Stream, so there you go, Eric. You are the guy. You are the guy. So, gotta give you a shout out. Thank you for supporting the channel. You're awesome, dude. Much appreciated. That's right. Everybody loves you, of course. So, much appreciated, Eric. So, I'm bringing that back. Another thing I'm also doing too, when it comes to the Patreon, guys, I'm doing a post show every Monday, posting it on the Patreon. Just like maybe like 5-10 minutes talking about, what happened on, during the show, maybe talk about, I don't know, little post-show thing that I'll be posting on the Patreon. So you patrons out there, you'll see like a little post-show video. It'll probably be like 5 minutes. It won't be like 10 minutes unless I want to ramble on about something. So I'm going to be doing that every Monday on there. But of course, still going to be doing a members-only stream post-Wednesday stream. So good times. Anyways, here we go. Versus Seed. What's happening? Josh Brolin's voice could fit. Intriguing. Yeah, the demon, yeah. Since, they didn't, Titans tried, right? He's got the square jaw like a human, like the human host, Jason Blood. Jason Blood, man. We just, on DC Fanimated, we covered, not too long ago, with some Jason Blood. There was that one episode of the new Batman Adventures where he made his first appearance from the DCAU. Yeah, I can see what you're saying. Then we got Phil saying Ted Grant right there, little Wildcats, which I saw somebody else actually say that, and I'm like, maybe. James Gunn does like those crazy characters, right? He definitely likes those crazy type of characters. So maybe. Just watched Fury 7 on TV. I liked they tipped the series. I like they tipped the series. I need any more, but I'll have. Okay, yeah, I know that was the one that should have just ended that. But of course they weren't going to end it. But just when Paul Walker passed, it was like that was it. Ninja Gamer, oh, good old Ninja Gamer. What do you have to say today? Oh, here we go. Surely divorce isn't enough for delaying a full year after just being delayed when a week ago Matt was saying the Batman 2 will pick up from the Penguin and the script's done enough that they were getting ready to film. Yes, Ninja Gamer, it probably doesn't have to do with that. Maybe there's another personal issue possibly right there as well. Let's relax a little bit. We're going to talk about it. You know, just strap in. We'll talk about it. We got something from Matt Reeves. The thing is still actually looks like it's going to be shooting this next year. But yeah, you know, if you're insinuating that it still has something to do with, you know, your buddy James Gunn, let's relax a little bit. Again, let's relax. All right, let's not start pointing fingers. Nikki Glazer was so funny last night. Yep. What about Josh Brolin as Mr. Freeze? And that's not a bad idea either. Hey, there's something like that. What's going on, RJ? Matt Reeves isn't getting divorced. Whoever's peddling that nonsense should be ignored. His personal issues that he talked about are way beyond. There you go. You know, RJ. You know, there you go. Yeah, there's some people are saying John Brolin. Joe, what is it? Joe Hendo TV. It's actually, you know, Josh Brolin. But hey, I know there's talks of people talking about like him because, you know, he was on the short list for Zack Snyder's Batman. I think he was actually a choice by Zack Snyder before he went with Ben Affleck. Fear Jason, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. We got Antonio Baker right here. What's happening? We got Mama Film Junkie here. Hi, Mom. Love you. Are you back? You didn't go to the? Yeah. Well, are you? She's been having fun at the river, so good on that. Good on that. All right. Keep going here. Let's see who else we got. Who else we have? Oh yeah, we got Jason McKenzie helping out the pirate ship. Always great. Thank you for the donation, sir. Much appreciated. Hoy hoy. Good to see you. Always great to see you, sir. And, yeah, thank you for the $20 super chat. Much appreciated. Helping out the channel. We got R. Wicks right here. When do you think it's a good time to release a DCU Batman Brave and Bold? What year? Should that be the first live-action appearance? That's what's kind of curious because we do have the Clayface movie that's going to come up before that. So, you know, really it should be in that movie maybe, in which I think would be interesting to do it like that. I don't know. Seems like Brave and the Bold is still very far off. So, very far off. Thank you, sir. There's the executive producer right there. Like I said, bringing it back. And of course, he's been a member for 2 years. 2 years. So much appreciated, Eric. Much appreciated, sir. Andrew Haley, what is happening? Good to see you. Hey, Dave, when do you think we will see the JSA and the DCU? I hope to see Stargirl pop up in the universe soon and hope I don't know. Like I said, it's just, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that are, pretty much in the works right now. So there's a lot of things right there. Game City City, I know, but I want Welling okay. So were you answering somebody else or, okay. But thank you guys, of course, for joining right now. That's right. It is the new year. Holy crap. Yeah, I know, but it's so funny, though, because we're like already a week in the new year. Again, Christmas and New Year's smack dab in the middle of the week. That just effed my brain up all like crazy. I never do. I know it's happened before, obviously, but now it's just, I don't know. It's just really just, because I had to work the day after New Year's, and yeah, it just effed my brain all up, and everything just felt wrong. But now we're back. Everything should be back to normal. So, but again, guys, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. And if you want to be a member, be a member. We do a members-only stream after every Wednesday show. And like I said, the Patreon, trying to do some more with the Patreon. I post some just solo pods on there too, which I'll probably post. I'm going to try to post one this week as well. I'm going to do more of that. But like I said, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do like a Monday post-show, post-video. and do that and kind of just like, why not? Why not add a little bit more content to the Patreon? So anyways, guys, all right, let's dive into it. I mean, yeah, this weekend was fun. Football, the regular season of football wrapped up this weekend. I went to my friend's house and watched those remaining games. Obviously, the Golden Globes were last night. We're going to talk about the Golden Globes. And didn't really watch them. I watched the opening monologue, but then I was like, all right, opening monologue, that's all I wanted to see. I wanted to see what Nikki Glaser was going to do. She nailed it. She was awesome. And then I switched it right over to the Vikings and the Lions. And the Lions basically, handed them their asses. So I'm just kind of going like, I'm thinking the Lions might take it all. I'm actually rooting for the Lions. I'm rooting for the Lions. I hope they take it all. The Chiefs have had enough. Let's, I get the Chiefs are good, but they've been barely squeaking by. And it seems like they've had a lot of help from the refs. I'm just saying, they've had some help from the refs. So I'm rooting for Jared Goff and the Lions, man. Plus, I like, my favorite color is blue. And I love their blue, like, black color scheme uniforms, man. Those things are sharp, and they wore those last night. But we'll see what happens. Anyways, enough of the football talk. Let's talk about some Zack Snyder, huh? Zack posted this on the 31st right here. Rebel Moon Creatio is out today in the U.S. The special edition delves into scenes and elements from the R-rated director's cuts, including exclusive imagery and storyboard, limited to 500 signed copies. So if you guys haven't, check out that link from Zack that he posted if you want to get yourself one of those. So that's pretty cool. Zack's still posting that. I know they also announced something when it came to like the virtual reality game that's going to be on that Sandbox platform or whatever. So Rebel Moon, I mean, we still have not gotten the announcement for Rebel Moon Part 3. That's what's so weird about that. It's like we still have yet to get the green light or get the full-on announcement for Rebel Moon Part 3. Yet they're still pushing out Rebel Moon content. So hopefully, I don't know if it's going to, there's when it comes to even the LAPD movie, I don't even think Zack has talked about that. So I'm kind of curious about like what exactly is going on when it comes to these certain projects, when it comes to Zack. I'm not really on Vero that much because Vero kind of sucks on my phone and it just always doesn't seem to want to work. So I don't really go on Vero that much. But I'm just kind of going like, all right, he hasn't really said anything about that. I know he's been posting about his winter vacation with his family, which always he's always skiing and going to the mountains and everything, and looks like fun. But I'm like going, all right, when are we going to finally get that? So, but we'll see. I mean, like I said, I'm looking forward to the LAPD movie, but even he hasn't really said anything about it. And then, of course, there's the UFC movie that we've heard about as well. So, I don't know, man. We'll see. And hopefully you guys checked out, of course, my top 10 best movies, my favorite movies of 2024 video, and, of course, my anticipated as well. Posted those videos over my little break from doing Film Junkie Lives. Posted some clips. And, we talked about, obviously, our favorite movies and anticipated movies on the Vodka stream, so that was always a lot of fun. James Marsden. Hey, he was asked by comicbook.com. He said, he was asked, like, who looks better in yellow, Supersonic or Wolverine? What do you think that James Marsden said? In true Scott Summers fashion, he said, of course, Supersonic. Yes, of course. He's not gonna say that this guy looks good in yellow. No, fuck no, he's not gonna say that. He's gonna say that Sonic looks better in yellow. No. He doesn't want to give any credit to Wolverine. What are we doing here? James Marsden. Awesome dude. Sometimes we kind of wonder, like, he's still, maybe there's a role that he could do in the DCU, right? He's always been, anytime that there's been like a Hal Jordan talk, he's always been on people's like fan cast. But of course, now we have an older Hal Jordan, but James Marsden. I'm surprised. I mean, he doesn't really fit into like a Batman. I know, like, we're all like wondering who's Batman gonna be. He doesn't really fit a Batman, but I'm like, maybe he fits somewhere else. I don't know. I mean, it's not like he hasn't been in a DC movie before. He was in Superman Returns. Poor guy. Poor guy. I felt sorry for his character because he had to go up against Superman. He had to get sloppy. Good God. Sloppy seconds when it came to Superman. Anyways, that's right. I did say that. Yeah, he had to, he was, I forgot what his character's name was in Superman Returns, but imagine trying to pursue Lois Lane and being with Lois Lane when she wrote an article that won like a Nobel Prize called, titled My Night with Superman. I mean, imagine trying to go up against Superman. I mean, his character had to go against No Name Stepdad, right? It was just like, when you watch that, you just go like, this poor guy. And he helped save Superman. Like, he's a good guy. When you watch the movie, he's a good guy. He flies that plane. They help save Superman. But, I mean, he has to put all that behind him and help save Superman. And it's just like, you almost feel bad for him because it's like, how would you, to date Lois Lane, who was with Superman? There's nothing you can do to even, I mean, can you imagine just having that hovering above your head? But, and then the kid, the kid's not his, it's the kid was, and then the kid, you're taking care of Superman's fucking kid. I mean, Jesus Christ, poor guy, man. Anyways, but, we all love James Marsden, the person. His character in Superman Returns, we just go, sorry, man. You want to buy that guy a drink. That's for damn sure. And I don't know about you guys, but when it came to New Year's Day, obviously, people like to have a couple of pops, I mean, I didn't really do anything New Year's Day, but I had some champagne. So I was like, I'll sip some champagne now. I didn't go crazy because of, it was just, I stayed home. It was Tuesday. My plans fell through. So I just stayed home and just kind of chilled because it's a Tuesday. Wasn't really anything, but I made the joke of like, I'm sure a lot of people on New Year's Day, their head was probably pounding, probably looked a little bit like this. Yeah, maybe looked a little bit like that. Looked a little bit like the leader. What? That's right, the leader. Promo art showing off the leader. Look at that big ass head. Samuel Stearns right there. Captain America, of course. Brave New World. Little promo art right there that was released. I don't know how this promo art gets like leaked out like that, but it does get leaked out like when it comes to Marvel. And usually they don't care. Sometimes I think they put it out there, but yeah, that's kind of like your first look of what he looks like. What he looks like as the leader. That got posted right there. And yeah, I mean, the last time we saw him was in the Incredible Hulk, and we saw like when he got that substance, he was on the ground and it was like hitting it, and then you saw his head get all bulgy and all weird. So that's what he looks like. And Jimmy Neutron, right? Jimmy Neutron. Oh, man. And what else we got here? And then, of course, I feel for Andrew Garfield. Even though I don't really feel bad for him because, after the Golden Globes when he presented, there are like ladies swooning for Andrew Garfield because apparently, he was looking sharp last night at the Golden Globes, and he did a swift move because when he was presenting, he decided to put on the glasses, and he did it so smoothly. He's looking sharp. He's got like, he's looking sharp, and he's got like, the open, couple buttons open with his suit and everything like that. And he decides to put on his glasses, just all swift and smooth. And I saw so many people there's especially the ladies that were swooning over him. But I feel bad for him because Spider-Man 4, anytime he's going to be interviewed, somebody's going to ask him about Spider-Man 4. They keep on asking about Spider-Man 4. And GQ Magazine asked him about Spider-Man 4. He says he isn't attached to Return Spider-Man 4, but I know no one's gonna trust anything I say from now on. Yes, He is the boy that cried wolf. He is. I mean, poor guy. He had to keep on lying and lying and lying and just saying, even though it's not really lying, it's just he obviously didn't want to spoil it. But he can't just reveal that he was in there, just like Toby wouldn't reveal, even though Toby kind of told some people that he was anyways. But yeah, it's just like now he's gonna, while Spider-Man 4 is gonna start kicking into, pre-production, into production, people are going to be like, Andrew Garfield, are you in it? And if he says no, no one's going to believe him. No one's going to believe him. And I wouldn't want him to actually show up in Spider-Man 4. To me, I don't want him to show up in Spider-Man 4. Why? He doesn't need to. Let Spider-Man 4 be Tom Holland Spider-Man. Let that be the case. Now, Secret Wars, on the other hand, sure. Show up in Secret Wars. Perfect. Have him return in Secret Wars. But I don't think we need to have him return in the next Spider-Man movie. I think the Spider-Man movie, even though who knows, there's been conflicting reports like crazy that, it's a multiversal story. Oh, no, it's actually more grounded into, in Brooklyn and New York. So it might have some of the grounded, like, Daredevil might show up and Jessica Jones or some of those characters might actually show up, which I'm like, fine. I actually would prefer that. I don't need multiverse again. We don't need a multiverse story. Have a story that takes place within the city. And yeah, if you're going to have some other characters involved, yeah, have Daredevil show up. Have Daredevil be a supporting character. And maybe that could be a way to bring in Jessica Jones or Luke Cage or something like that. I don't know. Could have something like that. That could be pretty sweet, but who knows what the hell they're going to do. But poor Andrew Garfield, man. Poor Andrew Garfield. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, there was like a report that Tom Holland and Zendaya, they're engaged now. I'm like, they weren't before? I don't know. They've been together, it seems like forever, right? Haven't they been together since the first Spider-Man? Power to them. Don't put a ring on it. I'm just kidding. I know. Hey, maybe they'll last. I don't know, but it's Hollywood, man. It's Hollywood, and sometimes these couples just don't last. So I'm like, All right, what else we got here? Oh, hey, it's cool? This is so cool right here. Speaking of Rebel Moon and Zack Snyder, Lee Bermejo, who is one of the most, I think, I love his drawings. The drawings that he does, his comic book drawings are really, because they're very, he goes for that more realistic look when it comes to his drawings. So when I see his drawings and I see him, take on, Robert Pattinson's Batman or Ben Affleck's Batman, or he actually provides his style of drawing for a variant cover or something like that for a comic book. I'm like, I don't know. There's something about the way he draws. I love the Jim Lees and all, I'm good with all the comic book artists have their own style, own unique style. Is cool, but something about Lee Bermejo's drawings. But apparently he also supplied something for Rebel Moon, and there it is right there. Look at that. He posted that right there, like a little storyboard kind of thing. Look at that right there. It looks like I see some nippies right there. So, oh, YouTube's gonna find that and destroy this video. Nah, it's not even. It's a drawing in the distance. There's nothing right there. We're good. But yeah, he actually provided that. I was like, I didn't know that he actually did that. That's pretty sweet. So, YouTube, we're okay. It's just, it was in the distance. Didn't see that, okay? We're good, right? We're good. I'm canceled. Or it's canceled. It's canceled. I know, right? Looked good. Looked good. Looked pretty damn good right there, so. Let's see. Let's keep going. Oh, yeah, I watched some movies this weekend, too, guys. I posted about it. Well, no, I posted about one. So on Saturday, I finally watched Cuckoo. The movie came out last year, Cuckoo, starring Hunter Schafer and Dan Stevens. I watched that movie, when I saw it, I was like, all right, this looks interesting. Looks like it's right up my alley. When I watched it, I was like, I was with you for a bit, but what the fuck am I watching? I get what they were doing, but I was like, oh, okay, so this literally has to do with birds and humans and okay, there's a certain, okay. Yeah, yeah, I didn't really like it. I thought it kind of sucked. I was not a fan. Like, I was watching it going like, what exactly is, okay. So it's shot well. Performances are pretty good, but I'm like going, I'm just not feeling this. Like the whole time I was just like, I'm really not feeling this. This is just, there's a lot of stupid things that happen. And then, oh, it's that. Oh, it's okay. I just really didn't like it. I didn't. Rick James, you liked it. Hey, that's fine. Power to you if you liked it, but I'm just saying, like, I just did not really dig it. I did not really dig it. You watched Smile 2, Phil? Smile 2, I watched that the previous week, and I thought that was absolutely fantastic. That's one of those where it totally lifted. Like, I think Smile 2 is better than the first one for sure. Naomi Scott acted her fucking ass off. But and then I also watched VHS Beyond. I also watched VHS Beyond. I love the VHS movies because, I'm a fan of the found footage kind of thing and everything. So, and I love the VHS movies. So, hadn't watched VHS Beyond. I would say that I enjoyed it for the most part. There were some of the because there's probably like 4 or 5, like, it's all obviously an anthology. I like how they did it though, because they have, like, it's shot like, okay, you're watching a documentary about a certain story that they talk about this one dude disappearing, claiming that, it's all about aliens. It's basically about aliens, which I love that. I love that aspect of it. So when it came to Beyond, I was like, okay, a couple of them I was like, Jesus Christ, you're just going for shock value. Cool, whatever. But there was a couple of them where I was like, this is cool. There was the one entry, the one chapter or whatever, where you had like the people that were going skydiving, and obviously you're nervous about skydiving and stuff like that. I mean, how fucked up would it be? Like, you're so nervous about going skydiving, and then you look out the window and there's a fucking big ass spaceship and a bunch of little ships flying around it, and then all of a sudden, like, you see all these jets and a whole fucking thing happens in the sky that causes like the plane that you're in to just get ripped to shreds, and then you're falling crazy. And then there was one about, it was like the last one, I think, where you had this girl that was documenting. She's doing like she's basically just doing like some vlogs where she goes to this hill or this mountain or whatever the hell, where there's UFO activity, and then one lands and she finds it and she gets into the UFO. Holy shit. Jesus Christ. I'm not going to spoil anything, but what happens when she gets into the ship, I was like, wow, that was pretty damn awesome. And then, of course, how it actually wraps up the initial story, that was pretty effed up too. So I enjoyed it for the most part, but some of the other ones where it was like, they had this one, in the first one, it felt like a video game. The first one felt like a video game, and I was like, all right, you're just going for gore and shock factor. It was just weird, and I was like, okay, it's cool, it's fine. And then there was another one that was really gory too, and it was like, yeah, that's fine. But those two ones were really cool, I thought. So I'm just a sucker for those ones. Yeah. So watch it if you haven't already. Oh man, I'm gonna bring up those right there. And then speaking of Zack Snyder, apparently Zack Snyder, after he had some fun up in the mountains with his family, doing some skiing and everything like that. Congratulations to Richard Cetrone. Richard Cetrone, of course, who has been a stuntman, always been a reliable stuntman, part of Zack Snyder's crew. And, when it comes to Batman, when it comes to Ben Affleck's stuntman, he was very much there. I've actually interviewed Richard Cetrone. You can find that on the channel. I've talked to the guy, really awesome dude. Really great dude. And apparently he got married over the weekend, because Zack posted this right here on Vero. Fitting to see at Richard Cetrone's beautiful wedding. So apparently there was some kind of figurine or something like that where it had, a Batman, and look at that view right there. I mean, again, Zack just has an eye. He has such an eye for doing, for seeing stuff like this. Like, what the hell? So, yeah, man. Apparently Richard Cetrone got married over the weekend, and Zack Snyder was there. And he took that shot right there, and that's pretty freaking sweet. I love that. So congratulations to him. Congratulations to him. You know, I still haven't watched the Terrifier movies yet. One of these days I will. I'm not really into the gore stuff. I like to be like, you know, I don't mind gore, but sometimes, you know. Okay, and then we got this right here. So we have a rumor, guys. We have a rumor that, well, it's kind of been rumored for a little bit. And a lot of people are kind of wondering, like, yeah, because we've had Nicolas Cage, and then we had Gabriel Luna, right, who played Ghost Rider. There's been 2 Ghost Riders. And, you know, some people are kind of wondering, and there has been rumors that Nicolas Cage is going to return as Ghost Rider in some form, probably in like a Secret Wars fashion. But, you know, there is a rumor out there that was thrown out there that said, like, oh, yeah, Disney Plus is going to have, they're developing a series when it comes to Ghost Rider. And I saw that and I was like, oh, yeah, okay, cool. But, you know, I'm just going like, wow, Disney and Ghost Rider, when I see those 2 together, I'm going, what is it going to look like? Is it going to look like this? Is that what it's going to look like? I mean, come on. When I see Disney next to Ghost Rider, I'm thinking this. Jesus Christ. Yeah, had a little fun with some, you know, on Grok, you know, on Twitter. I was just like, oh, yeah, what would Disney Pixar Ghost Rider look like? And, yeah, I put that right there. But, you know, I had to. It was just kind of like, you know, yeah, I wanted to bring up an image right there. And I was like, what? But, hey, you know, if they decide to do something, I mean, I'm sure it'd be more of like a Hulu-based, like, series or something like that. You have to make it rated R. I mean, I'm one of those people, I like the sequel to Ghost Rider more than I like the first Ghost Rider. As much as I love Eva Mendes, first one was, second one was made by the guys who did Crank. Yeah, it's still not like the greatest movie, but it just, I don't know, had a more grittier type of movies. It was a more grittier type of movie, so. That's exactly what it's going to look like, right? Jesus. Yeah, I just thought that was pretty funny. I don't know. Then I wanted to bring this up right here. Because I saw this and I thought, this is actually pretty interesting. You guys know I'm a sucker for like concept art, when people make concept art, especially when it comes to what are these characters going to look like in the DCU. We're all, you know, excited for the DCU. We're excited for the DCU and seeing what the costumes are going to look like. And naturally, when it comes to Batman, the DCU Batman, it's like, what is Batman going to look like? What is Batman going to look like? Specifically, obviously, we just had him show up in Creature Commandos. He made his appearance, but of course, he was just more of a silhouette. But everybody's going like, okay, what does he look like? What do the ears look like? Is he going to have the white eyes? Is it going to be the blue color scheme? Is he going to have the chonies? Well, we have Jordan Rodriguez right here. Jordan Rodriguez created a little concept, and it was kind of interesting because when you first see it, you go, what the hell is going on, you know, when it comes to the Batman chonies? What is he doing right here? But then you look closely, you're like, oh, he kind of took it in a different way, I guess you could say. So check this out right here. So right here, he said, my design and thoughts for the DCU Batman, Cal built similar to Wolverine for white eyes, big cape, and can drape over like a cloak, which I love that. No armor, fabric suit, but sturdy material, similar to Captain America, but more form-fitting. So he has one right here that has the black. But look at right here. So they're not necessarily trunks. It's a kind of like different kind of design than just having straight out, you know, the normal trunks, which I thought was interesting. But I would absolutely love for the cape to drape over him like that, please. But I also want the navy blue. I want the dark blue. Look at the dark blue. I think this is pretty cool right here. And to be honest, I think the short ears, I like the short ears. Now, are they going to do the white eyes? I guess we'll see. If they could pull that off, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But I really like this concept right here that he's going for. But it was kind of interesting. I was like, oh, wow. Not necessarily trunks, but it just adds to the color scheme right there. But, yeah, Batman's got to show that huge bulge, right? It's not bad. The Bat logo looks good because I'm a fan of the big bat, man. I'm a fan of the bat going right there. I mean, I don't hate the oval. I don't, but I'm a fan of the big bat. Shemagic. Hey, what's going on? What's going on, sir? Thank you for this $5 super chat. Always great to see you, brother. Good to see you. And guys, if you're not following him on Instagram, do yourself a favor. If you like some close-up magic, card tricks, and stuff like that, this guy right here. So appreciate it, man. Really appreciate it. But yeah, didn't mind that design right there. And I'm kind of wondering too, is it going to be an armored look? I mean, because that seems to be. I see what Zack and Wilkinson did when it came to the BVS costume. It's like it was armored, but also just looked like it wasn't armored. It was like I don't know. There was like a lot of I don't know. It's just the way that they just combined both of it. It looked so cool. That's why I can't. The BVS costume is just going to be so hard to beat. All right, let's see here. I think. Oh yeah, there's this right here. Will Smith. What the F is Will Smith hinting at right here? Because a lot of people are going like, wait a minute. He just posted this kind of video right here, and it's like, wait a minute. There is a new Matrix movie coming out, right, from Drew Goddard. I forgot about that. I'm like, oh, yeah, I wonder how much in development that is. But, that is in development. And, of course, when it came to Matrix Resurrections, I enjoyed the movie. It's not like it was, like, better than... I mean, I still think it was, like, probably the weakest one out of the, the 4 movies. But I thought, it worked. It brought, Keanu Reeves back. It brought, at least, him and, what's her name back? I can't remember her name off the top of my head right now. But, yeah. Brought him back, but then all of a sudden, we got to remember that Will Smith, remember, he was actually offered the role of Neo before Keanu Reeves, which, thankfully, to be honest, as much as I like Will Smith, I think I'm pretty much glad that he didn't take the role and Keanu Reeves got it, because it just works better when it came to that. But he posted this video right here. What? He chose Wild Wild West instead. Wake up, Will. The Matrix has you. Huh? That's right. So they talk about that right there. I love the fact, because, yeah, that's what he did. He turned down the Matrix to do Wild Wild West, which bombed. And Wild Wild West wasn't that bad. I mean, him and Kevin Kline were fine. Selma Hayek. It was a little ridiculous, but yeah. So, what the hell is that about? And everybody's like, huh? Are they doing a Matrix movie? And he's they're gonna do something where he actually ends up being... No. We have to remember, guys. The Super Bowl is like a month away. Anytime. This happens every year. Where there's some, I think last year, Arnold Schwarzenegger, he started teasing something in January, which had him being Zeus or something like that. And people were like, what the hell? Is Arnold Schwarzenegger in a Zeus movie? And then it was like, oh, no, that was for a Super Bowl commercial, Super Bowl ad. So I think we can kind of chalk this up to, Will Smith is going to be doing some kind of commercial, some kind of ad or something like that when it comes to the Super Bowl, where maybe he's going to be doing some kind of Matrix thing or something, or maybe it has to do with music. I don't know, but I don't think this has anything to do with any new Matrix movie. So, yeah, we have to remember, like, anytime when it comes to like teases, when it comes to certain teases and stuff like that around this time, we got to remember that the Super Bowl is right around the corner. So, and they love to do that, and it's nothing wrong with that. You got to build up the anticipation and, do all that stuff. So who's looking forward to your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man? Now, the trailer came out. We kind of briefly talked about it on the Vox stream on Friday, but I was like, I don't, it's just kind of like, yeah, I'll watch it. I got to reactivate my Disney Plus. I don't have it activated right now, but I'm going to reactivate it. I'll watch it. But we got some new promo art. We got promo art that was released right here in Nexus Point News. They got a hold of some of it right here because Marvel likes to put out promo art. This one right here I actually really like. I like this promo art right here because it shows like the 3 stages of the suits. So we got the Oscorp suit, we got the regular Spider-Man suit, and then of course we have the homemade suit. So this is actually pretty cool right here. I actually like this shot right here. It's pretty cool. That's not bad. And then of course some in action right here. That's me, by the way. And then there's more with the fat spider, I guess you could call it, the fat spider. So there he is right there, not bad. And then of course we have something that's going to show up on shirts maybe, all in a day's work. And then of course you have the Oscorp suit right there. So, yep, that's pretty much it. So yeah, some promo right there. It is kind of funny because originally this was supposed to take place in the MCU. This is supposed to be essentially Tom Holland's Spider-Man. But then they were like, nah, it's not. That's what's so funny. It's like, oh yeah, no, it's not. It's not. It's not anymore. Yeah, it's not. So I'm like, all right, that's fine. It's not bad though. Looks pretty cool. But I'll watch it. We'll talk about it. You know, like I said, I just got to reactivate my Disney Plus because I turned that shit off after The Acolyte. I was like, all right, don't need this anymore. But yeah, I'll watch at least that. So. All right, guys, that's all the tweets we got here. Let's get into the DC news. All right, so a couple of things before we get started. Before we get started with the initial stuff that I want to talk about, there's a lot of things that, came about. Let's see. All right, so the first thing, so we got all this. Let's see, I'm just kind of looking. All right, obviously, the Lobo news, we already talked about that and everything. We already talked about all that kind of stuff. We don't need to talk about that anymore. We know, but, there is something from Jason Momoa that we will talk about for sure. Well, first off, okay, well, we didn't talk about this. Well, we kind of talked about this, I think, briefly, but I want to talk about it again. Because, are we going to, the fact of the matter is, I'm like, all right, so we all know, like, when it comes to Lobo, I remember back in 2018, 17, 18? This was like a while ago. I remember sitting in my work vehicle when I was working for this one company and I was dropping something off. And I was sitting in the parking lot and all of a sudden I'm looking at my phone and I hear that a Lobo film is in development from Michael Bay. And I thought, well, that's kind of perfect. If anybody can make a Lobo film, it could be Michael Bay. But then after this news, when it came to, of course, Jason Momoa landing his dream role, we got David Leitch that is just kind of going like, let's do a Lobo feature. And I don't have the screenshot up right now, but he also, it's not the only one that he said. He's actually posted yet again, that he wants to do a Lobo movie. So I'm kind of going like, is there talks happening? I think again, my whole thing when it comes to the DCU and why doing these crazy off-brand characters like the Sergeant Rock and Clayface and stuff like that is make cheap movies, movies that don't cost all that much, make them for low budgets, put them out there, so then they don't have to make a fucking cajillion dollars to break even. You make a basic story with these outlandish characters that maybe people just go holy shit, that looks pretty cool. Don't even know they're a DC property until they actually go and see it. And if you want to have a David Leitch movie where he can make a Lobo movie for $50-60 million maybe? I don't know. I don't know what he could do. But if he does something like that, where it's this crazy cosmic action movie, probably maybe costs a little bit more than that. Who knows? But I'm just saying, if you have Jason Momoa, who's dedicated to the character of Lobo, and you have David Leitch, who is the founder of the goddamn John Wick series, making this action cosmic sci-fi movie, I'm sorry, but sign me the fuck up. Sign me the fuck up. So Jason Momoa shows up. Supergirl has a small supporting role. I know some people think it's going to be a cameo. It's not. It's a supporting role for the actual story that they're presenting. But then you have him show up in his own little small movie that's an action sci-fi directed by the guy who brought you John fucking Wick. What are we doing here? The guy who also directed Deadpool 2, Bullet Train. What are we doing here, folks? That sells. That's going to put some asses in the seats. I'm just saying, guys. This is why I'm going, James Gunn, I think you might be onto something here when you're doing like these offlandish characters. And I've been, and if this actually goes through, I'm going, all right, yeah, there you go. There you go. You're going to have someone like Luca, what's his name, award-winning director that wants to do Sergeant Rock, who's already appeared, technically, in Creature Commandos. Luca, I always forget his last name, but obviously he made Challengers. He made the Queer movie that just came out. You have an award-winning award-winning director that wants to make a Sergeant Rock movie? Like, what? It's like, okay, so you're going to have like an award-winning director, like a renowned director, make a small movie about a character in the DC universe, but then it's like, okay, but you don't have to put it out there like, oh yeah, this is, you have to watch this because it's DC. No, you make it something small. I mean, look, the Clayface movie, Mike Flanagan, it's supposed to be like a $40 million movie. I mean, hopefully Mike Flanagan ends up directing it. I think that's what we all want, but I'm just saying, it's a good strategy. It's a really good strategy to just really boost the DC brand by taking some of these outlandish characters that nobody would be like, why would I want to go see this? But you do that, you do it for a cheap budget where it only has to make like, what? Clayface would only have to make, what, 120 million, 130 million just to start making a profit? And it could just be like this crazy horror movie that feels like The Fly. Like, it's, yeah, I mean, come on. David Leitch, he could probably make a movie. He could probably make this kind of movie for less than $100 million with Jason Momoa. Cosmic sci-fi movie about a bounty hunter starring Jason Momoa in the cosmos. And it could be something pretty fucking cool. Just saying. So there's that. That's one of the things. Fall Guy. That's right. He did Fall Guy. And Fall Guy was great. I see David Leitch. I go see the movie. Okay? I wish Fall Guy got more appreciation because Fall Guy was great. There were some things where I wish it was kind of a little bit better. But yeah, I saw it though. I only watched it once. I need to watch it again. But I, for the most part, enjoyed it. It was about stuntman. I especially loved like the post thing where they were showing like the making and stuff like that. It all worked. Yeah. But I'm saying David Leitch, I see his name, I'm gonna go see that movie. He's great. He's absolutely great. Now we got Bill Skarsgård. Of course, when it comes to him being interviewed for Nosferatu, which he fucking nailed. I'm telling you, this guy, he deserves to be nominated for his performance as Nosferatu. Of course, he's not getting any recognition, probably won't. And it's sad because if you didn't know it was Bill Skarsgård underneath that makeup and the voice and everything like that, you just wouldn't know. Like, it's crazy. Especially, since he was in that Crow movie that nobody fucking liked, really. So, but of course, he was on the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast and was asked about certain things when it came to Batman.
You're like acting opposite yourself.
This feels like,
I don't know, man. Like I think I there be a fucking cool Joker in me probably somewhere. I think that would be pretty sick. Yeah, man.
who's you?
Like acting acting.
So Joker, naturally, and I think that's way too on the nose, but it's kind of funny, too, because he was also said that it would be cool to play Batman, too, and I was like, you know what, it would be actually hilarious if, like, hey, you want to save some money there, Jimmy Guns? Just have the same actor play Batman and Joker. There you go. You want some innovative shit right there? Just have him play both characters. Wouldn't that be insane? Wouldn't that be insane if you had the same same actor playing both characters, because, you know, I've seen people go like, oh man, he's literally Bruce Wayne. Oh, he's literally the Joker. I'm just like going, he literally should not be either one of them. I don't see him as Batman at all, really. I don't see him as Batman at all. But Joker, of course, yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. But at the same time, it's just a little too on the fucking clown nose, because he already played Pennywise, and I'm sure he can absolutely nail it. And if he ends up being it, fine. But then at the same time, people are just like, hey, you know, we've had plenty of Joker in the last few years. Can we just, can we relax on Joker a little bit? But it's like, hey, if you have a Batman, you have to have a Joker. I mean, that's just, I mean, I literally have a poster hanging up somewhere in this fucking place that just like, you can't have Batman without Joker. I mean, that's the thing. They just go hand in hand. So you gotta have somebody. But yeah. Oh yeah, see him play Red Hood. That'd be interesting. That would be interesting for sure. And then speaking of Jason Momoa, I mean, I posted this after all the stuff right here, and it was just kind of funny because this was floating around, and I'm just like going, wow, this is really on the nose right here. I made the joke basically that the first line that Jason Momoa is actually going to say when he shows up as Lobo, and a lot of people are even saying, like, it's probably going to be that's going to show up because, you know, they just think that James Gunn is a hack and he's just going to put this hacky joke in there. But, you know, it was just kind of interesting because in the comic book, guys, apparently this panel actually showed up. This showed up when it came to Lobo. This is fragging ridiculous. I look nothing like Aquaman. Jesus. You know, yeah. I mean, that's something right there. That's definitely something. Could show up. Because everybody's just, I mean, there's some people that just like flat out go, the general audience is going to be confused and all this kind of stuff. There are a lot of people that think the general audience are just morons, and the general audience don't give a shit like we give a shit about this stuff. They just go like, oh, Jason Momoa is playing this character now. Cool. He was Aquaman, right? Oh, okay. Now he's, okay, cool. But, you know, some people just like go like, they give some credit to the general audience. I think they'll be okay. I mean, Lobo is not going to be showing up for another year. So, another year or so. So, I mean, I think it's going to be okay. I don't think they're going to be confused. I think it'll be okay. But, you know, the thing about it though is like when you go with a friend that doesn't really exactly know what's going on, they turn to you and they ask you, wasn't he Aquaman? And then you get to explain everything. Isn't that fun? That's fun, guys. To me, it's fun. I always like that. I like being the guy that I had to explain to family or friends about what's happening because I'm in the know of all this shit. It's fun. It's cool. But yeah, I thought that was, it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. Pretty funny stuff. And then right here, Jesus Christ. Speaking of Bill Skarsgård, what the hell? Now Bill Skarsgård is lying for James Gunn? Yeah, that's right. He's lying. Because we all know that James Gunn's a big fat liar. Pants on fire. Always lying. Always lying about everything. Always lying about everything. And, you know, we got to remember that Bill Skarsgård and his brother, Alexander Skarsgård, were rumored to be on the short list for Lex Luthor. Remember that? Remember that whole thing where they're like, oh, yeah, they're screen testing and doing all that stuff like that. Well, according to Bill Skarsgård, that was not true. False. Absolutely false when it came to interviews. That's right. He said that in recent interviews. What? Okay. I know, and it's kind of funny too because when I posted that, it was like, oh yeah, now he's lying for James Gunn. Some people took that seriously. I was like, some people took that seriously. I'm like, come on, guys, do you guys not know that I joke around like that? I mean, of course he's, you know. It's like, whatever. It's like, it's just so funny. It's like, either one of them would have been probably a decent Lex Luthor for sure. But yeah, just didn't happen. So it wasn't the case. And hey, Nicholas Hoult, he's our Lex Luthor. So perfectly fine. The Superman trailer. Okay, guys, I want to ask you about this. Because this is something that a lot of people were pointing out And I didn't really see it, but then when I was hearing stuff about it and I was hearing people talking about it, and some people were like, maybe, just maybe, that there was a little bit of an appearance of another character in that Superman trailer that people were like, oh my God, they're pulling out the magnifying glass, they were zooming in, they were like, enhance, 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 and trying to think that they saw Supergirl in the Superman trailer. That's right, Supergirl. What? Well, it's this scene right here with Kellix, apparently. That's what everybody's assuming this robot is right here. And they were like, well, okay. Obviously, I'm like, oh, no, there's no Supergirl right there. But then they were trying to go like, look at the reflection of the head right here. And there seems to be a figure that could be a Supergirl. And I'm going, I don't see it. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. What are we doing here? Get the... Nah. 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 I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, it would be pretty crazy if like that ends up being true, but I'm like, nah, I don't think so. I don't think that's actually her. I mean, it's just, I don't really see anything. And, you know, I've zoomed in myself. This wasn't like the best image right here, but I actually like had like a good resolution like trailer, and I zoomed down like, I don't really see it. I mean, seems like somebody is right there. I just don't know if it's Supergirl. I don't think it's Supergirl. I think something is right there, but I don't know if it's Supergirl. It would be pretty crazy if it is, but I mean, I guess we'll see. But I just don't think it. I don't think it is. I don't think it is. You know, got a little crazy. I threw my pen. It's fucking Dr. Doom. That's funny. Could be. Could be that. That'd be pretty insane, right? No. But yeah, I don't think that's Supergirl. I don't really think that's Supergirl. But, all right. Oh, okay. And then we got this right here as well. So not too long ago, I think Fandango, before the Superman trailer did come out, Fandango ran a poll for people, you know, just for people to fill out or whatever the fuck. And when it came to Superman, I think Superman was like 8 or 9 when it came to anticipated movies of 2025. So, and then, you know, of course, some people are using that as, yeah, see, people aren't excited for Superman. And I'm like, well, it's still in the top 10, you know. But, you know, these polls are whatever. But it's kind of funny because IMDb ran a poll for, you know, people to put out their anticipated movies. Superman #1. Superman is #1 right there. So that's pretty cool. So it did bump up, at least when it came to the IMDb one. But again, you know, it's just something just to create hype. I love the fact that 28 years later is #2 for sure. That's pretty sweet. But at the same time, I'm like, oh, really? Snow White? Minecraft movie? All right. You know? So, I mean, yeah, that's just something right there. Hey, you know, IMDb. Why not? So at least there's, you know, the point of the whole thing is the fact that the trailer did what the teaser trailer needed to do. It created a lot of hype. And I think a lot of us who are hoping that this movie is good and this, you know, because there's a lot riding on it. I think a lot of us were kind of, you know, a little bit, you kind of just go like, yeah, I'm kind of worried about this. And I think, you know, it's not, you know, is it a perfect teaser trailer? No. But at the same time, it did its job. It did its job to really create that hype. So that's just kind of like what's happening. And by the way, Supergirl starts production in like a week too, by the way. So we might start getting some Supergirl set stuff, maybe. I don't know. Depending on where they start shooting, it's probably going to be all on a closed set. If they're going by Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, it's mainly probably going to be on a set. So we might not really see much. But I'm just kind of wondering, is there going to be a Supergirl suit reveal sometime soon? That's what I'm kind of wondering. I'm coining the franchise. I'm coining the name, guys. I'm coining the name when it comes to Jason Momoa as Lobo. Okay. I don't know. He posted a video. Because he's very excited for it. It's a dream role for him. He can't wait to do it. And I just was like, you know what? Why don't we just call him Jason Laboa. Is that okay? Is that cringy? Maybe it is. I don't know, but I'm calling him Jason Laboa. Jason Laboa is who he is, and he did post a video because, he's reading the script right here. He is reading the script in perfect Lobo fashion with a cigar in front of a fire. Listening to Motorhead.
Yeah.
For Lobo's eyes only. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, right there. Right there. It's not one page. It's not 2 pages. There are pages. If you look right there, guys, there are multiple pages. Multiple freaking pages. Not a cameo. He's going to be in a whole scene. Okay? Let's get the whole cameo. He's going to show up in a post scene, a post-credit scene. No. There are multiple pages right there. He's going to be in a whole scene, a whole ass freaking scene. So let's rule out the whole cameo thing or post-credit scene. Not going to be that. So he's definitely having fun. He's definitely having fun with that. And you got to love it. He also posted like an image with somebody, maybe who he's dating right now. I forgot what her name is, but yeah. Anyways, and then what do we got now? Okay. Oh, yeah. Well, we'll get to that part. We'll get to that. Okay. Well, let's see here. Let me get to scroll, because now we got... Oh, well, first off, oh my God, come on. Because obviously the Golden Globes were last night. And guess who was there? Our new Lois Lane. She was there. And you know how they do those like crazy cameras where they like, slow-mo and everything like that? They're just like, hey, look at how great we look. Do like a little pose or something like that. Well, Rachel Brosnahan, well, she did her own little pose, and look at this right here. Oh, whipping that dress. Oh, my Lord. Yep. There we go. Clark, you lucky son of a fucking bee. Yeah, just nice. Look at that. She's just so freaking gorgeous. My God. Yep. That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. Just thought I'd give you guys a little treat right there. Little treat right there. You got to love that. Oof. Man, I tell you what. All right, so now let's talk about Josh Brolin. Let's talk about Joshy Pants. Okay, so Josh Brolin, of course, we found out that, yes, he was on the short list for a little bit, for at least one time, to take the Hal Jordan Green Lantern role for the Lanterns show. And, it was like we were kind of wondering, was that actually true? Was it not? I mean, obviously, when you hear about shortlists, you hear about scoops, who knows if it's actually true? But then he said in a recent interview that, didn't quite work out. But then there was a new rumor that came out over the weekend when it came to scoopers and whatnot, that they still want him to play a role. And it was like, okay, well, of course. Why would you not? Why would you not want to have Josh Brolin in your universe? I mean, the goddamn guy was Thanos for, it's Josh freaking Brolin. Now, we'll go over like certain things, like who I think he should be and stuff like that. But he did post this in his stories, which was kind of interesting. He posted Boss Logic's "The rumor whispers going around that Josh Brolin is still in talks for something big in the DCU." Josh Brolin put that in his stories. Now, of course, Boss Logic has a drawing of Darkseid. Not going to be Darkseid, because fuck that. Although I would think it's hilarious. That would be stupid if that was the case. That would be too on the nose. That would almost be like, that would be James Gunn literally doing this to Kevin Feige. That would be ridiculous. I would actually, I think I would hate that more than I would laugh. There's no way that he would actually be Darkseid. No way. Absolutely no way. That would be just, no. Please no. Please no. But then of course people are saying like, oh, maybe he's going to be Batman. He could be a good Batman. But I'm like, he's 54. By the time they shoot Batman Brave and the Bold, he'd probably be 56 or so like that. I'm like, I don't see him as Batman. I don't see him as Batman. Like I said, at one point, he was going to be. At one point, he actually was on the short list to be Batman in BVS. Like Zack Snyder and crew, they were like looking at him before Ben Affleck. So, and then that didn't work out. So I was like, okay, yeah, at one point, sure, but I don't think they're going to go in 50s. I think they're going to keep it at late 30s, early 40s kind of thing when it comes to that Batman. So then I started going like, all of a sudden it like hit me. I was like, well, wait a minute. What about Commissioner Gordon? Huh? And that's why, of course, I have him in. I brought up this like grok image right here. I was like, what about him as Commissioner Gordon? I thought that would be interesting. I even did this image right here showing him next to a Batman and then even in like a different kind of trench coat. And I was like, I don't mind that. And then I thought like, well, I mean, if they end up eventually, I mean, there is that idea of a possible like GCPD show. There was always like, that was always, I mean, what if they end up like revisiting that? I mean, if you get Josh Brolin, I mean, Commissioner Gordon is a very, it's a strong role. And then if you were to have something dedicated for specifically Commissioner Gordon, that could be something cool too. I don't know. That was just my idea. I know some people are saying Deathstroke. I don't really see him as Deathstroke. I don't know why. I'm just like, I don't really see him as Deathstroke. I don't really see that. I don't see him as Deathstroke. But, me, I was like, I'm really digging the whole Gordon part. I don't know. That was just what hit my brain when I was hearing this rumor. But then it was kind of funny because, other people started sending me some images that they created. What about Wonder Woman? Get the fuck out of here. Oh, that's right, guys. You're not going to sleep tonight. When you try to close your eyes tonight, this is what you're going to see. That's what you're going to see. Yeah. I was like, what the fuck? Oh, that was hilarious. And then somebody was like, what about the Flash? And I was like, nope. But then I thought, well, wait a minute. If we're thinking Flash, if you actually remove the cowl and put on a helmet, maybe I could see that. Jay Garrick Flash, I could see. I could see that, maybe. I could see that. I could see a Jay Garrick Flash. But that probably won't happen. And we already know that the Flash is not going to be coming anytime soon. But then it was kind of interesting, too, because, when I was talking with people, they're like, well, Commissioner Gordon, I mean, it sounds like if there's something, if something that's already, like, kicking into gear, I'm like, well, again, we got Clayface. Clayface is supposed to begin production this year. And you better believe that, Clayface takes place in Gotham City. And I'm hoping that we get a Batman appearance in Clayface. I think definitely we could get a Commissioner Gordon in Clayface. Why wouldn't we? So that's where I was starting to go like, oh, hey, there we go. So I'm just thinking that Clayface definitely could have a Commissioner Gordon in it. I hope it has a Batman in it, but it might not. But a Commissioner Gordon, I think it could have that. I think it definitely could have that, so. But then I did like the fact that somebody in the chat did. I know, and some people were actually saying that, well, what if Brolin was Clayface? But then there was, like, people out there more in the know that was saying, like, no, they're going to go with a younger actor. Even though it could work with Josh Brolin as Barlow or whatever that, But then there was also Matt Hayden, like, the animated series version. I could see him playing that Hagen. I could see him playing that kind of role. You know, he's injured. He's an older actor, and then of course, you know, you could kind of see that fit with the story or something like that. But apparently, like, some people that might know a little bit more about it are saying, like, no, they're going to go with a younger actor. So that's where I was like, yeah, see, I'm still, like, I'm really just all about, like, a Brolin Gordon right here. But, you know, but yeah, that was always, like, that could be something right there. What about Mongol? I don't know about that. But then somebody in the chat did say Mr. Freeze, which would be pretty good as well. Wouldn't that be crazy? I could see that, him being Mr. Freeze, because yet again, you know, from the fucking one, that one guy, that one scooper, of course, says again, like, oh yeah, Mr. Freeze most likely going to be the villain of Matt Reeves' Batman. And I'm like, yeah, that's been rumored for, like, that was rumored for the entirety of goddamn 2024, and now you're just going to regurgitate that rumor. All right. But I could see that. So when somebody brought that up, I was like, all right, that's not bad. That's not bad. But, and then, of course, speaking of the Batman Part 2, we got Matt Reeves. We got Matt Reeves at the Golden Globes. And, of course, being asked about the Batman Part 2. And, yeah, I mean, he's, you know, we're all kind of worried. We're all worried. We're all kind of wondering what is going on with it. But naturally, this is him right here talking about the Batman Part 2. And, of course, the Penguin.
Give us some insight into working with the wonderful Colin Farrell.
I mean, he's a genius. He's just absolutely brilliant, and our entire cast is incredible. But he's also just such a wonderful person. You know, there a lot of stuff going on sort of in my life in the last year or so, and he has been such a good friend, such a beautiful man. And so I have to say that I've loved it on so many levels.
That's wonderful to hear. Did you see that he ran the marathon recently and helped his friend run the marathon? I'm like, he's a hero.
Yeah, he's just a really caring, beautiful person. I love him, yeah.
So I have to ask, and you may refuse to tell me anything whatsoever, but
say
what
it all.
can you say
He
about
knows
the
it's coming.
Batman coming up?
I can tell you that we're going to be shooting this year, and that we're excited about it. I can't really tell you anything about it, except that we're really excited about it.
What do you feel like the fans are going to like the most? And you can be as oblique as possible.
You mean in the Batman Part 2? That we're continuing the story, and that, you know, I don't know. I can't tell you that right now. I'm not going to give you that away. But I appreciate it. I'm really excited to be making it and to get our cast back together and to get new people involved, and we're really excited about it. And I'm really excited about, I think what I'm excited about is I feel like we're doing something that absolutely continues where the story came from, but is something that I hope people are going to be really surprised by.
I love to hear that, and I am sorry for putting you on the spot. And just before I let you go, do you have a favorite awards show memory?
All right, so that's pretty much it. He also mentions that, yeah, there's like some, you know, the crazy things that are happening in his life. And that's why I keep on telling people, before we start, like, doing that whole fandom discourse thing, let's stop, you know, pointing fingers at why this is being delayed and all this. And let's just relax a little bit. I know there are people that I mean, I hate seeing the fandom discourse out there, because especially when you hear things and, you know, and when, you know, the things that maybe you hear, you don't want to say, and you don't want to, like, mention it until, you know, it's like, hey, he's got a private life. These people do have private lives, people. They do. They are actual people. So let's not be dicks about this whole thing. And when people are saying ridiculous shit like, oh yeah, Matt Reeves he's getting the Zack Snyder treatment that he got in 2017 or something like that. When I read shit like that, and these you know, idiotic people that are posting ridiculous shit and wanting to point it at James Gunn. James Gunn's ousting him. He's doing all this stuff like that. It's like, shut up. Let the man do his thing, and he's going to give us something. And the fact of the matter is, the Batman Part 2 is still going to be filming this year. Okay, yeah, the script might not be fully finished. It's getting there. Give the man some time, because, you know, he's had some craziness that's been happening in his life, in his personal life, because he is a real person. So let's just relax a little bit. It's happening. James Gunn would be fucking stupid if he were to try to merge or cancel anything when it comes to the Batman 2. When the first Batman movie was successful, the Penguin was successful to the point where Colin Farrell won a Golden Globe for it, and it got, nominated. So it would be absolutely stupid for that. So let's relax when it comes to all that. All right. That's it, guys. There was a lot. That was it when it came to DCU and DC Elseworlds, I guess you could say. News right there. Oh, yeah. Well, hold on. One more thing. Because we got Robert Pattinson. He's making sure that he's going to be ready for the Batman Part 2. I mean, yes, with the delays and everything, we're kind of wondering, like, geez, like the actors, what are they doing? Especially Robert Pattinson. Robert Pattinson has to make sure he's like in tip-top shape. He's in that Batman shape. And according to, this person right here on Instagram, they said, he was filming the drama with Zendaya. That's a movie that's coming out called Drama. He was trying to make sure he kept in shape and training martial arts to stay prepared for Batman. So Robert Pattinson while he was filming another movie, was, I guess maybe between takes or off days or whatever, he was doing martial arts training. So Robert Pattinson is making sure that he's going to be ready once the cameras fire up for the Batman Part 2. So it's fucking happening. Don't think it's going to be canceled or being merged with the DCU. Let's get over all that shit. Please. Gotta love it. Dedication, man. All right, let's talk about the Golden Globes, baby. All right, so, I'm not going to go over, every little thing. I will say that I need to catch up on my movies. I definitely need to catch up on my movies. Oh, crap. I need to catch up on the movies. Let's see here. There we go. I definitely need to catch up on movies because it was kind of funny because I was at my friend's house. Watching football, and we were talking about the Golden Globes. And I was like, hey, read me the Best Picture nominations for drama and then, of course, the music and comedy category. I had only seen one from each category. That's bad. So drama, the only one I saw, only one I've seen so far is Dune Part 2, and I was like, that one ain't gonna win. There's just it sucks because I love that movie. It's my favorite movie of 2024, Dune Part 2. But I was like, that doesn't even stand a chance. And then when it came to the comedy music category, the only one I saw was The Substance, which that was in my top 10. I think it was number 6. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, all the other movies I didn't freaking see, but. Obviously, I already talked about Colin Farrell winning for the Penguin, which well-deserved. Of course, Kristen Milioti, I should say, didn't win for, of course, her role as Sophia. Didn't win, and of course, the Penguin didn't win for Best Limited Series or whatever. But, yeah, I had a feeling that wasn't going to be the case. But, when it came to television, a series that I really enjoyed and thought was well-deserved, Shogun. Shogun definitely did win. Definitely won for best television series, which is pretty cool. And then, of course, when it came to television comedy musicals, Hacks, haven't seen that. Maybe that's something to check out. Baby Reindeer was limited series. That beat out the Penguin. And then, of course, Mr. Sanada, he won for Shogun. And I'm like, yeah, that's the go right there, obviously. And then, of course, Anna Sawa also won for Shogun. Jeremy Allen White won for The Bear, like I said, this is all the stuff. And then, of course, Mr. Sano won for Shogun as well. So Shogun was actually pretty much cleaning house when it came to television series, which well-deserved. If you haven't watched Shogun, watch Shogun. So, yeah, we got all that. And then, of course, the Best Picture Drama was The Brutalist, which I keep hearing great things about that. Adrian Brody won for Best Actor as well, so I'm definitely going to catch that, and I'm glad to see that there's a little bit of an Adrian Brody renaissance that's happening right now. That's pretty cool. Now, when it comes to Best Picture Musical and Comedy, Emilia Perez. Now, I haven't taken a deep dive in this, but there's going to be some controversy. There's definitely going to be some controversy with this movie. I've seen clips, and the clips I've seen look fucking horrible. I was just kind of going like, what the hell did I just watch? This movie's like getting praised. What are we doing here? And, you know, Zoe Saldana won for Best Supporting Actress for this. And there's some controversy and I saw a whole thread about this on Twitter. I'm not gonna dive into it yet, and I probably will the closer we get to the Oscars. I want to watch it first. Because people that I know that have watched it said it's absolutely horrible. But it's getting praised like crazy. And there's going to be some controversial stuff that is attached to this where, like, yeah, it's interesting. So it is on Netflix, and I am going to watch it, but definitely got to watch some of these other ones. Like I said, I was like, damn, I need to catch up on some of these movies right here. Like I said, in each category of Best Picture, I've only watched one of each category. I like that A Real Pain, which is Jesse Eisenberg's movie, is getting a lot of praise. And, of course, Kieran Culkin actually won for supporting on that. So that's pretty cool. But, yeah, I mean, Best Director, Brady Corbet, maybe, won for The Brutalist, you know. So it seems like The Brutalist is the one to catch. Best Screenplay, Conclave. Best Performance Actor in a Motion Picture, obviously, Adrian Brody. Fernanda Torres, I'm Still Here, won for Actress. And then, of course, when it came to musical or comedy, Sebastian Stan won for A Different Man. That's another one I got to catch. So that's pretty cool. And then, of course, Demi Moore, the movie I did watch, she won for The Substance for a musical or comedy. And it's kind of funny because, like, wait, is that a comedy? I'm like, if you watch it, yeah, you could. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous to fit into that comedy category. Of course, Kieran Culkin, Zoe Saldana, and, of course, that is a musical. And then, of course, Best Picture, Non-English Language, Emilia Perez again. And then Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross for Challengers. So the soundtrack for that's pretty cool. So, yeah. And then, of course, when it came to cinematic box office achievement, Wicked. Of course, Wicked was going to win. But the best thing about, you know, the whole box office achievement award, somebody came out to present that. And that's a certain bald individual who, of course, has dominated the box office with his Fast and Furious franchise. Came out, and, well, we all know that there is a little feud between another bald man that is in that franchise. And we're kind of wondering, all right, okay, so he did show up in a post-credit scene of the last one. So is he going to show up fully in the next Fast and Furious movie? But check this out, guys.
Hey, Dwayne.
Oh, boy. Oh, what? The tension. Oh, man. The plot thickens right there. And not to mention, I love the fact that it says, in addition to acting, Vin Diesel is passionate about Dungeons and Dragons. Jesus Christ. But yeah, little tension right there, huh? Yeah. I think the rumors, we could chalk it up to being pretty true that they do not like each other. That was pretty funny. I had to give props to Vin Diesel for actually doing that right there. I'm not gonna lie. Dwayne Johnson was just like, I'm just gonna smile. So there you go. And of course, like I said, Nikki Glaser, she nailed it. She did a great job with the opening monologue and roasting everybody, and she looked gorgeous and everything. And apparently they already want her back for next year. So yeah, she did a great job. All right. On to the box office. Now, the box office, nothing came out really over the weekend. There was a movie called The Damned, which I've heard good things about, but that was very limited, and I've heard good things about it, so it might be one to catch for sure. But I just kind of want to just look at the box office, where it's standing right now. Obviously, you know, Christmas had a lot of movies. The only one I caught was Nosferatu, and Nosferatu is actually doing a really good job, especially when it comes to Focus Features. They're saying like it's one of their best box office movies that they've ever had. But currently, right now, the box office is looking like this. Yes, Mufasa is actually doing pretty well. You know, it won the box office over this past weekend, and it's actually almost at $500 million. Of course, you know, the first one, you know, the first Lion King live action, in quotations, made $1 billion. Like, I think it made like 1.1, 1.2. So, but yeah, this one, people aren't showing up for that one too much. We got Sonic right here. It's currently at $336.5 million. Apparently, it only cost $122 to make, so it's already making a profit. And the Sonic franchise has crossed $1 billion with the 3 movies. So, yep, there's going to be at least 3 more of those movies, which, you know, they're doing a good job with those. And then, like I said, Nosferatu has already crossed $100 million worldwide. Willing to bet the budget was probably, I'm wondering what the budget was. That's what's going to be interesting to hear, is what the budget was. I assume that, I mean, it probably was over $100 million. I don't know, but people are going out to see Nosferatu, which is cool. More domestic than anything. And then, of course, Moana 2 is almost at $1 billion. It might be the first movie that hits $1 billion in 2025. I don't know if it actually makes it. And Wicked is at 680.6. I would have thought that might have been close to $1 billion, but I don't know. And then, of course, you have A Complete Unknown. That's made 41.8. Kind of wondering what that budget was. Probably wasn't too much, but that's getting a lot of award season. And then Baby Girl came out. That's only made 16.1. I can't imagine that the budget for that was too much. That seems like a sexy movie, right? And then Gladiator 2 is still sitting at 449.6. Then you had Homestead, which was an Angel Studio, Fire Inside. Craven, where's Craven at? Craven's at 58.6. Hey, you know, it's something, right? It's something. It's something. Yeah, so there's your box office stuff right there. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. We got, we're in January, so the box office is kind of going to be like, eh. I do plan on seeing Den of Thieves 2 this weekend. My dad wants to see it, and I like the first one, Gerard Butler. So, going to go see that this weekend, so look forward to my first reaction review, of course. And, of course, on Wednesday's show, I will we'll talk about reviews and everything like that. So now let's just briefly talk about this, because a list, guys, a list from the Wrap. So the Wrap released a list of movies that are not eligible for the Oscars, like an entire list. Like, you know, because it's so funny, because every year, every studio, whatever movie they have, they try to, like, hey, we're going to submit it. We're going to submit it to maybe get some kind of Oscar nomination. And anytime that's talked about on Twitter, man, people like always have a field day about it. They always have to make jokes and crack jokes about it. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. It just gets kind of fucked out. Like, all right, we're really going to just, yeah, we get it, you know. Nobody's going to, and they're not going to actually consider that movie for an Academy Award. Okay, we get it, guys. But it's just kind of funny. And I'm just, I was looking at the whole entire list here, and it is like, you know, so I just wanted to read some movies, the movies that were not eligible this year, and I'm not going to even bring up the screen or whatever, but it is kind of funny, because Alien Romulus is considered, and I'm kind of wondering, probably for more like a VFX or something like that. That could be, but yeah, there's like, you know, it is actually going to be considered, which is cool. Boy Kills World, not considered, guys. Sorry to kill that whole thing. But yeah, Boy Kills. I still got to see, you know, the Bill Skarsgård movie. I still do want to see that, but that's not considered. So if anybody was wondering if that was going to be considered, but yeah, there's even movies where I'm like, geez, I don't even know what these movies are. Like, what are these? What exactly are these? What's cool is Ghostbusters Frozen Empire is considered, most likely for VFX and everything, so that's kind of cool. Harold the Purple Crown, this is the one I saw a lot where people were talking shit because people just hate Zachary Levi right now. Yeah, that won't be considered for an Academy Award. Godzilla and Kong New Empire considered, probably for VFX, of course. There's stuff called Hollywood Deal. I don't know. I Can't Breathe. I Am Celine Dion. Sadly, not going to be considered for an Oscar. Inside the Yellow Cocoon Shell, if anybody was wondering about that one, not going to be considered. Left Behind, The Listener, Look Back. I mean, some of these movies, I'm like, what the hell? And I know this is shocking, guys, but Madam Web, not considered for Oscar consideration. Maxine, though, is. So some people who like that franchise, that one definitely is. Megalopolis is actually considered, which is, well, don't think that's actually going to happen, but hey, you never know. I like that Monkey Man is going to be considered for sure. Not too bad. Let's see, what else we got? The Neon Highway, don't even know what that is. That's not considered. Ray of Hope. Reagan, of course, is not considered because, well, that's from one of the more conservative type of studios, so of course they're not going to do that. What's funny about this, though, is Rebel Moon Part 2. I don't know if they considered the other one, but it says right here, Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scargiver. So not even the director's cut, not considered for any Oscars. And it's just kind of like, I'm like, okay, but there's the director's cuts, there's Part 1. Why just Part 2? Very interesting. I don't know why, like, that doesn't even make sense. Smile 2, not considered, even though Naomi Scott probably gave a better performance than most out there. I'm telling you, watch Smile 2. She fucking acted her ass off. Sonic the Hedgehog 3, not considered for a nomination. Like, all right, not even for VFX? Very interesting. Why no Sonic 3? You would think that'd be considered for that, at least. But nope, not considered. Not going to be, not eligible. Not eligible. So yeah, that was like that created a lot of discourse. The whole like Sonic the Hedgehog 3 not being eligible. So, and so there you go. Just wanted to read off that little just random things, and I'm like, why not Sonic for VFX? It's VFX heavy. And then I'm like, why only Rebel Moon Part 2 was very interesting. I don't get it, but there you go. Just there, a lot of people were talking about that right there. So. A lot of people were talking about that. What are you guys talking about? Anything? Nah. All right, let's get to some Twitter questions. Twitter questions. Let's see what we got here. All right, just making sure. Yeah, so you got quite a bit right here, so this should be good. All right. First one is from Robin. Jason Laboa, that's right. If anybody starts saying Jason Laboa, remember it came from this face right here. I'm coining Jason Laboa. Did you see the 2-part Watchmen thing, Dave? I have not yet. We talked about that on the Vodka stream. I still haven't caught it yet. I do plan on watching it. I know it's on Max, right? So I'll watch it, but I have not watched it yet. Not yet. Eric M. Blake, the executive producer of the show. Hey, Dave, what's a film you missed during the theatrical run that you most wish you could see on the big screen? Obviously, movies you've since been able to watch and re-release or whatever. Well, I think recently, The Substance, I wish I would have saw that on the big screen, but just didn't get around to it. I think off the top of my head would be that, Mr. Nobody. So is it confirmed that Josh Brolin will play as Jim Gordon? I wonder how hands-on he'll be when it comes to dealing with crime. No, it's not confirmed. That's just who I would choose for him to be. That's just me. That's just me wanting him to be Gordon because I think he would be a good Gordon in the DCU. That's all. It probably won't happen. That's just wishful thinking. Darkness Under the Wind, Dave, question 1. With Lobo confirmed to make his appearance in the DCU Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, do you think he will have a big role in the film or be there to establish his existence? If a big role, do you think he will be a side villain or an ally to... Well, again, I do, like Rebecca Johnson, who is a friend, who is a big, Supergirl radio. Please subscribe to her channel and everything like that. She's been on the Vodka stream. She sent me a copy of Woman of Tomorrow. I still haven't read it yet. I know, I suck. I do plan on reading it soon, especially since it's going to be filming soon. I'll probably read it this weekend or something. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know. But I know he does have a supporting role, at least in that. When we saw the pages that Jason Momoa posted, it wasn't a full script. It was just the pages that he's involved. It wasn't one page. It wasn't 2 pages. It was multiple pages. So he's definitely going to have a supporting role in a scene for sure. Question 2, do you think the Batman Part 2 will be moved back to 2026 since filming will start this year? That would be pretty sweet, but I know they want to give them time. They probably will keep that date, though, even though I would hope that they would bump it back. Question 3, in the All-Star Superman comic, Pa dies of a heart attack. Do you see that happening in the movie, or Superman sees his spirit still dealing with his loss? I don't know. Looking at the trailer, I'm kind of thinking that Gunn was like, you know what? Pa ain't dying this time. This time we're going to have Ma can't die. I think that's what we were kind of like when we were breaking it down, and a lot of people were pointing it out too. I think a lot of us are thinking that Martha is actually going to be the one that dies, and Jonathan's going to be the one that survives. Or maybe we're wrong. I don't know. We'll see. Kenny, I'm Vengeance, the first of many McFarlane DC Multiverse 7-inch figures I'm getting in the mail this month from eBay. Nice. Love it. Devin Wooter, hey Dave, Happy New Year. What did you get for Christmas presents last year? Do you think Marvel's frustrated that Superman trailer doing well? No, I don't think they're frustrated. Now, why would they be frustrated? I mean, I think they're still going to be okay. Marvel, they will release the Fantastic Four trailer, Mission Impossible 2. What is your favorite scene? I think the motorcycle scene right there, is pretty good. Like I said, I will defend Mission Impossible 2 always. I don't think it's the worst Mission Impossible, like some people say. Adrian Woodbanks, Josh Brolin would make for a perfect Jim Gordon. I think the best actor who portrayed the Commissioner, in my opinion, was J.K. Simmons, and Josh has that feel and look for him. That's absolutely the best role Brolin would land. Yeah. Sadly, we didn't get enough of J.K. Simmons. I think he would have, especially in the Batman, Ben Affleck's Batman solo movie, would have been good. I still think that Gary Oldman is my favorite, just because, he did such a good job. Kenny, Earth doesn't have one hero anymore. Now it has her. Now it has Supergirl 2026. There you go. Cooper Knox with Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow about to start filming soon. Do you think DC Studios will drop a foot? That's what I'm kind of wondering. I'm hoping that they do. I'm hoping. New Juice. Hey, Dave, are you aware you've been using a rough mock-up of DC the logo on the bottom of the Film Junkee live screen rather than the official one? Oh, okay. So apparently the one I'm using is not the best one. So I'll look into it and upgrade it if needed. Hey, Dave, the 2025 year of Superman, super excited. Yep, Kenny, same with us. Jamon Watson, hey, Dave, people are really trying to push Pattinson's Batman to be in the DCU because they think having 2 different Batman in theaters is going to confuse the audience and divide them even more. It's like you can't win on both. Yeah, you really can't. And like I said, I think some people don't give too much. They just think like a lot of people are just dumb. And I'm like, again, just it gives you the opportunity to be like that guy that has to explain it. I always like to explain that stuff. It makes you feel kind of, knowledgeable, with all this nerd shit. I don't know. I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be absolutely fine. But yeah, there's some of the people are going to be, wait, there's another Batman? It's going to be interesting to see how that balances out. But then again, like I said, there's shows, I don't know. We'll see what happens. All right, guys. It's good to be back. 2025. Let's make it a good year. See you guys on Wednesday. And like I said, if you're subscribed to the Patreon, I'm going to do a little after post-show thing. Talk a little bit more. But like I said, subscribe to the channel. Become a member. And we do a post-show after Wednesday's show. So if you want to be a part of that, support the channel, either with that or the Patreon, by all means, do that. And appreciate you guys spending some time with me. Have a good Tuesday and a good rest of your night. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Love ya. Talk to you later.